Hey everyone, it's February 20th, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share it with triple murderer Mark Christeson, who killed 3 victims in Missouri in 1998, and that is him right up there. Christeson was born in 1979 and didn't have a happy life. After an abusive childhood, he and his cousin had been forced to leave his parents' home and live with a relative in rural Missouri. Their living conditions were misery, and Christeson reportedly tested with an IQ of just 74, so he wasn't someone you'd think was capable of making major life decisions on his own. But when Christeson was 18, he was determined to run away with his 17-year-old cousin and flee to California to start a new life. As part of their plan, they decided to steal a Ford Bronco from the woman who lived just down the road. In February of 1998, they grabbed guns from their rack and headed over to her house, breaking in to find her 2 children, aged 9 and 12, in the living room. They tied them up with shoelaces and took the woman into the bedroom, forcing her to perform sexual favors at gunpoint. After the interaction, she reportedly said, "You had your fun, now get out." When they went back into the living room, the older child indicated he recognized Christeson's cousin, which prompted Christeson to say, "We gotta get rid of him." They struck their victims in the head with a blunt object, then loaded the family into their car and drove them to a nearby pond. Christeson stabbed and drowned the mother and son, slitting their throats, then choked the daughter, dumping them all in the water. They went back to the house and loaded up the Bronco with valuables, including a TV and VCR, then headed west, selling the items at pawn shops along the way. It took a few days for anyone to realize the family had been killed, but after the authorities began a search for the missing woman and her children, they dredged the pond and found their bodies. They now knew that Christeson and his cousin had left home, abandoning their car at the victim's house, and they were the prime suspects. Just over a week after the murders, a police officer in California recognized the two from photos that had been circulated, and they were arrested. Christeson was convicted of triple murder and sentenced to death row after his cousin cut a deal to avoid the death penalty in exchange for his testimony. He had poor legal representation that missed deadlines for appeals, and as such, federal courts never reviewed his case or the issues involved, saying they were procedurally barred from doing so. The Supreme Court issued a stay in 2014, saying he should be given new legal representation, but Missouri Governor Eric Greitens pushed the execution forward and refused clemency to allow for any reviews or mental testing. Greitens, by this point, had been involved with a woman who he allegedly sexually assaulted and blackmailed with the threat of non-consensual revenge porn if she ever came forward, eventually resigning in disgrace in 2018 before he could be impeached. Christeson was executed in 2017, and since executing someone with an IQ of 74 clearly makes everyone safer and is an excellent deterrent, no murders have happened since in the state of Missouri. His cousin remains behind bars for his role in the murders. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Mark Christeson, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.